So guys, there's something I've just seen and I don't know if you've had a chance to land your eyes on it. So wacha nikuonyeshe. Thank God for Genz, buddy. Let me show you very fast. So guys, kuna poll yenye ilifanywa na hii poll after kufanywa the results were Kenya high work. 57% of Kenyans feel that the country is headed in the wrong direction. Watu wa tutam inua mkono juu, wewe ni mjinga. Inua mkono juu tena, mpumbavu. And whatever is written up here is the hilarious part of this video. Atika Songo has now reached Kericho on his way to Sugoi. Nani anaenda ho? Ebu sema si mimi? Ni must go. Ni must go. And what's exciting now is this. This is the most exciting part. Ati, the number has risen. In 2023, it was 53%. In 2025, it's now 57%. Na mnasema huyu jamaa aende nyumbani? Lafavo. Anaenda home. Anaenda home. Anyway, tumnapenda kubishana. Mimi sibishani na nyinyi. I have facts. Najua hiyo story. Wantam, drain the sump, and please follow me on Instagram, on X, and subscribe to my YouTube channel.
57% of Kenyans interviewed in an Infotrak poll say the country is headed in the wrong direction, while only 17% are satisfied with its current trajectory. Many Kenyans cite the high cost of living, unemployment, and poor governance as the major contributors. Miriam Nyambura reports.
The latest Infotrak survey released Thursday shows that 57% of Kenyans believe the country is on the wrong track. 17% say they are satisfied with the way the country is being run. And 21% of the respondents neither believe that the country is headed in the right or wrong direction. The survey was conducted in August this year, involving 2,400 Kenyans across the country.
In September last year, it was at 50%. Of course, we can see there is a widespread, people are not really optimistic about the country. 57% opine that the country is headed in the wrong direction.
According to the findings, 66% of Kenyans blame the high cost of living, 30% cite unemployment, while 15% point to poor governance. Another 15% attribute the situation to the failure by the government to deliver on the Social Health Authority.
There is severity in terms of 70% believe that the current cost of living is quite high. If you meet 10 Kenyans, 7 of them will talk about high cost of living. That's how severe it is. Then of course, it's even higher if you compare it with last year.
Among those satisfied, 41% cited peace in the country, 37% said the government is performing well, and 28% pointed to signs of economic stabilization. Notably, the high cost of education has emerged as a key issue in the 2025 poll, surpassing health concerns. Miriam Nyambura, Citizen TV.
So guys, Bwana PA had something to say. Na kama kawaida, this guy is even powerful than the president of the country. Who said that? Where si mimi? Anyway, Faruk Kibet ametuambia Kenya si Malawi. Ebu angalia jirani mwambie Kenya si Malawi. Na akatuambia Chakwera is not William Ruto. And so Wantam mutangoja sana. Ati Kenya hakuna Wantam. We will wait up to 2032 for this guy to go home. Mimi nataka kumwambia kwanza ajue niko na nywele mpya. Alafu ajue anaenda home wote wawili. Yeye na huo mtu wake mwenye si Chakwera. Thanks. Joyo story Wantam. Sema Wantam. Sema Wantam. Drain the sump and kindly follow me on Instagram, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and follow me on X.
According to polls, a majority of Kenyans, 57%, believe the nation is moving in the wrong direction. 17% feel it is on the right track. Meanwhile, 21% of respondents say the country is headed in neither direction. The polls further reveal that 66% of respondents say the high cost of living is crushing them. Unemployment at 30%, while poor governance and failed health reforms under Schiff and Shah round up the top concerns.
So if the government focused on its policies, taxation 40%, government policies 16%, a combination of 70% are all within the government sphere to address. And maybe that may end up lowering the perceived high cost of living.
Beyond this, Kenyans are raising alarm of a wide range of social and economic challenges, including extrajudicial killings, rising insecurity and crime, youth empowerment, cost of doing business, poverty reduction, access to clean water, and high cost of farm inputs. Lauding the concerns for Anglican Church of Kenya bishops, they have equally raised the alarm over rising killings, the health crisis, and disruptions in education, warning that the nation is deeply wounded.
That the government officers who have been mentioned in corruption cases must resign or step aside until their cases are investigated and conclusively determined. This will show seriousness with which the government handles corruption cases. We demand also end to extrajudicial killing or suspect dying in police custody.
Even though 17% of Kenyans remain hopeful, citing peace and government performance, their optimism is drawn out by economic pain. The survey was conducted between August 13th and 14th, 2025, using computer-assisted telephone interviews. It sampled 2,400 adult Kenyans aged 18 and above across all 47 counties and 8 regions. The sampling was guided by the 2019 census.
My kicker tonight is addressed to every young Kenyan above the age of 18, and particularly the Gen Z. Here is my message. Get out on Monday and get registered as voters. The IEBC has just announced that the continuous registration of voters will resume on Monday, the 29th of this month. This is a very important window for every Kenyan of age that is yet to put their names in the list of voters. To the Gen Z specifically, this is your opportunity to acquire the most powerful weapon in the whole democratic universe, a voter's card. Alongside the national identity and maybe the Kenyan passport, a voter's card constitutes the most consequential possession of any citizen. A voter's card is the one true equalizer. It has exactly the same value for each citizen, regardless their status in society. A voter's card carries the same weighty value in the hands of a poor man as it does on the laps of the wealthy. An 18-year-old and an 89-year-old are equals when it comes to the voter's card. The president and the peasant become peers when holding their respective voter's cards. So, to the Gen Z, especially they that so proudly carried Kenyan flags at the peaceful beginning of their protests on the 18th of June last year, here comes your moment. If you are 18 and above, and you are a Gen Z, don't let this moment pass. A voter's card is the most lethal peacetime weapon any civilian can possess in a democracy or even an aspiring democracy like Kenya. Let me tell you a little story. On election day in December 2002, I was on duty as a reporter covering the opening of polls in Nairobi's Eastlands. I was in Kayole at 5 a.m. when the polling stations were opening. And I remember the queue that stretched for more than a kilometer that early. The air was pregnant with expectation, and the mood in polling stations was almost festive. I believe the reason was Kenya was having its first ever mandatory transfer of power election. President Daniel Arap Moi, who had ruled Kenya for 24 years, was not eligible to run, so the election, whichever way it went, was the first ever change election. I remember interviewing a male voter that was shedding tears after casting his vote. I asked him how he felt that morning. Amid bursts of tears and emotion, he responded in Kiswahili, "Nimefuta mtu kazi," meaning I have fired somebody. The man was not in an emotional state to sustain a longer conversation, but I understood him. I knew exactly what he meant, and I could tell how he voted, and therefore who he fired. The overwhelmed man walked away, mumbling audibly now for everyone to hear, "Nimefuta mtu kazi." I will always remember that man as a perfect illustration of the power of the vote. That can be you in August 2027. All electoral positions, from the president to the governor, senator, member of parliament, member of county assembly, women rep, all of them will be up for grabs, up for appraisal. With a voter's card, you can hire and you can fire any of these leaders in any of the positions that will be on the ballot. The voter's card is power. The voter's card is political power. And voting is the only time the tables turn. Power switches to the voter that very moment. Whether it's the cost of living or corruption, health or education, jobs or housing, the voter's card allows you to have your say at the ballot box. So to every young Kenyan out there, go out in large numbers for that magical card. Something else I need to tell you about the 2002 election. It was the last credible election. And indeed, the only credible election Kenya has ever held. Debate for another day. And you know what made it credible? The overwhelming, unmistakable will, voice, and power of the voter. I remember the system-defying and rigging-busting atmosphere. And I remember it was powered by a very small card in the wallet, the voter's card. So beginning Monday, get out and get the IEBC to list you up as a voter. You are above 18, you are a Gen Z, this message is for you. That's my kicker.
Hi Kenyans, mi sina maneno mingi. All I want to say is Ruto must go, like yesterday. Bye.
Ati black chocolate ni fine melanin bana kutoka nikapate. Kanapenda kenye mi wanapenda, so kanapenda toto chupa na hali ya nono.
Madam na kudai, umedunga mini na unapenda mangwai. Una dance fit, unawacha nikismile. Ama niko high, jua lies even nice.
Kono moja mbele, gine yende rembe. Paila, yoni
Enyewe, Ruto must go. Enyewe, Ruto must go. By the way, Ruto must go. Enyewe, Ruto must go. Wash fire, Ruto must go. Enyewe, Ruto must go. By the way, Ruto must go.